Hello, you are listening to On the Topic podcast, and tonight I am sliding into Ellie Sattler's DMs. I'm Dan.
Well, I don't know where you're going there, and I'm sliding into Dr. Ian Malcolm's, and we're on another On the Go. We go this way. Should we go this way?
Yep.
Claire. This way.
We are joined by my better half, my budding sidekick, my partner in crime, Claire, but she's too shy to get involved.
She might decide to jump on in a little while.
We'll see what happens. If she's got any questions for us, we'll pass the mic over and get her involved.
But yeah, otherwise we've been swooning. I think it's all three of us for the last 3 hours, for Jurassic World Dominion.
Yes, a bit Jeff Goldblum. Nice to see the original cast, as always. Also nice to see some recurring cast.
It was lovely. And just before we get into that, we were just traversing Gun Wharf at the evening, so no doubt we'll see some more wildlife as they go on their night out. So if there's background noise, guys and girls, then that's where we are.
We're not talking about dinosaurs.
We're not, but we have just seen them, and yeah, I agree, Dan. I think seeing the original cast. This is a spoiler-free review, right? We should say.
Yeah, we'll do the big one sort of next week, hopefully, for a week's time.
Yes. So if you haven't heard it on the go, we don't spoil things. We definitely give you a little bit of a flavour about our initial thoughts because we're just fresh out of the cinema. But otherwise, yeah, it's spoiler-free. I didn't think it would work with the original cast, Dan.
No,
and it did.
It's a nice blend. They got the balance on the cast right, actually. But this film. The only bit I don't think I liked was the fact they brought two stories which sort of collided, and one of those stories just didn't feel like it really fitted in with the Jurassic Park ethos.
No, and I think for me, it kind of felt like a spin-off. Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't really feel like a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World film. It felt like a spin-off of the series up until probably the final third of the film. And I think it all came together.
I'd actually say the scenes in Malta are fantastic.
Did you really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I thought that was some of the weakest.
Really?
Yeah.
The black market was like phenomenal.
Do you reckon?
And then the chase through Malta itself was, I loved it.
I'm spoiling a little bit here because obviously our listeners will go and see it, but there's a guy who's on an electric scooter and he's oblivious to two big fuck off dinosaurs wandering around, and then he's surprised when he gets eaten. I thought that was one of the weakest scenes, but I think the way they
corny, wasn't it?
It was, but I mean, I think that kind of just illustrates for me just summary of the film as it's coming off raw. It felt like it was a medley of all of the other films before it, don't you think? So they had a lot of the key moments from all of the prior 5, 6, 7 films before it. The key scenes with all of the big dinosaurs, some dinosaurs from the first film we haven't seen since, and the baddie. Dodgson. We obviously can't say too much, but I think it kind of gives a nod to everything that came before it, and I think that's a good thing. But it almost feels like it didn't do anything new.
No.
I don't know.
There are some nice bits where you sort of feel like you've come full circle. So recently we watched all 5 of the previous films.
Right.
Or did we not watch 3? I can't quite remember. But yeah, we watched them all, just sort of getting line ready for this. And, there's some nice little nods. You got the shaving can, for example.
It does come back. Moments. We can say that.
So this must be the same Dodgson that Dennis Nedry's talking to in the first film?
Do you reckon?
It's got to be.
Same guy.
Bit of research for us.
I never made that connection, and you just.
It's the same person.
Claire's nodding, so she's confirming it.
Different actors.
Oh, right.
Oh, there we go.
So yeah, it's a nice continuity thread. It is a full circle. I think for me, and we'll go into a little bit of detail in a week's time. Slow start. I thought it was a very slow start.
Yeah, agreed.
I thought it picked up. Came together towards the end of the second section and the third. I think it was quite well done.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the music as well.
The music and the sound of the cinema. We were in a small cinema, and the sound was phenomenal. That's one thing they definitely did get right. I think Claire, you mentioned about a couple of jump scares.
Yeah, I got really scared like a couple of times.
But they were brilliant. There's a particular scene. Again, we can't spoil too much, but they're in the mines, and that was very good with the and it didn't feel cheap. You know, sometimes they feel like the cheap scares. This actually felt like it was well choreographed.
You knew something was coming, but you didn't know what or when.
I haven't seen this dinosaur on screen before.
I'm not being funny. I shit myself.
I wonder
Not
what that smell
literally,
was. I wonder what that smell was.
Almost.
But no, yeah. Otherwise, I think it was. I wasn't going with much expectation. I think there were some bum notes. I think they kind of cobbled it together, but I think it came off in the end.
Do you think the critics were a little bit harsh in their reviews? I mean, you know, you look at Rotten Tomatoes where it's about 30%. It's the lowest rated Jurassic Park film of the 6 films.
I have heard that. I wasn't a massive fan of the last one, albeit we're getting quite a few continuous streams and listens on the podcast channel.
That's a bizarre one.
Which is a little bit odd. Which is great that people listen, by the way. We're not knocking it. In light of that, you know, the not so good middle film, possibly, I think it's a little bit unfair.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I would actually say it's better than Jurassic World 2.
Yeah, I agree.
I say it's got a nice mixture of the dinosaurs. I say there's things in there that I'm not quite sure about, but a good balance of horror as well, I'd say.
I agree, yeah. And I think there was a continuous shot where Claire's in the water.
Oh man.
And that was very well done, actually. So, and I think the horror moments, as I say, they weren't gratuitous. I think they actually really added to it. So I think Colin Trevorrow did a good job. There were some things that we saw from Battle of Big Rock, was it the short film?
Yeah, I think it was like more of a televised thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You don't quite get a glimpse of what was actually teased.
No.
A little bit disappointing on that.
A little bit. I think it would be nice to have that continuity because Colin did it. I went to so much effort. If you don't know what we're talking about, guys, we did a review, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
I'll post it in the description below. But that was a nice little 10-minute job. We're about to get mowed over by a car.
Hell's teeth.
It is. But yeah, I think it was good. Do you think there'll be anything after this, Dan? They haven't said anything. I know it's kind of comes to a crescendo. Do you think, seeing what you've seen, there'll be anything more from these actors? Do you think that's it?
I think that might be it for the actors, but I would never rule off something like a spin-off. You know, you got Camp Cretaceous on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I've not watched it. It doesn't really pique my interest.
Never say never.
But yeah, who knows? I mean, you know, you guys are getting me to watch Stranger Things after all these years.
Get on it.
It's going to happen.
Okay. Well, it looks like everyone's got at least some kind of smile on their face and some thumbs up, so it sounds like we had a good time, or good time to be had. But obviously we'll reflect, and then I think we're going to be recording a couple of days' time, maybe? Yeah,
I think so. I'd get our notes together, do the research. Fresh minds.
Yeah, sounds good. But yeah, we'll drop this in a couple of days' time. If it's still time for you to get involved, I guess, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can get in contact on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram on @onthetopicpod. We've got Gmail, which is ontopicpodcast@gmail.com, and of course, if you follow any of those, you can get involved by dropping us a voice message. Click on the link that I put in there, and that'll take you through to Anchor.
It does.
And we've got WordPress.
We do. Just before I go into that background, that growl, it's a Ferrari, Dan. Look at it.
Yikes.
Our listeners should be able to hear
Not
that
a dinosaur.
background. Look at it. Isn't she a beauty?
That is almost as beautiful as Rexy.
Indeed. Which does obviously make an appearance, because it wouldn't be a Jurassic film without it.
Enough Rexy for you?
Just about. I thought it'd be out for the count at the end, but anyway, I can't say too much, but yes, no. I think it was the right outcome. On the topic podcast.wordpress.com. Go and have a look, subscribe to our newsletter. That'll give you all the heads up about when we've got new content. I think we teased when we recorded Moon Knight last that we might do some bonus content on there just to entice you to listen to go and visit. So we'll be having, no doubt, more conversations on that in the next coming days and weeks.
Yep, absolutely.
But I think I'm going to go and don a vest and go out into the wilderness and try and find myself some pterodactyls. I'm Alex.
I better start wielding a taser by the sounds of things. Yeah. I've been Dan.
And we'll see you next time.